The night sky has been a source of fascination and curiosity for millenniums. The quest to reveal its secrets has been the focus of some of history's greatest minds: Galileo, Kepler, Copernicus, and Newton, only to name a few. In 1864, a German astronomer, Albert Marth, was the first to observe a bright patch of stars, NGC 2238, in the center of what we now know as the Rosette Nebula. The Rosette Nebula, NGC 2237, is a vast emission nebula located about 5,200 light-years away in the constellation of Monoceros, the Unicorn, and has a diameter of 130 light-years. The Rosette Nebula is a very active stellar nursery. It is home to numerous stars and clusters of newly formed stars. The dark filaments of dust extending toward the center of the nebula, sometimes called elephant trunks, are shaped by the stellar winds and radiation from hot young stars and electromagnetic forces. The stars in the center are responsible for the nebula's glow. Their radiation ionizes the surrounding clouds of nebulosity, causing them to emit their own light. Different parts of the Rosette Nebula were discovered by different astronomers from the 17th through the 19th centuries. The open cluster, NGC 2244, was discovered by the English astronomer John Flamsteed in 1690. British astronomer William Herschel discovered the cluster independently about a century later, but was unable to see the surrounding nebulosity. American astronomer Lewis Swift was the first to report NGC 2246, a bright patch on the eastern side of the Rosette, in 1886. The full extent of the nebula was not known until 1895, when American astronomer Edward Emerson Barnard started his photographic work at the Lick Observatory at the University of California. Just a fun fact: if you were to journey from one end of the Rosette Nebula to the other, traveling at the speed of light, it would take you more than 780 years to complete. Well, hello everybody, and thanks for tuning in again. You know, recently I had a very pleasant surprise. You know, earlier this year, I went out to do some imaging, and you know, sometimes you finish up the imaging session just a little, a bit early, and I finished up maybe around 2, 3 in the morning, something like that. Well, being that I had gotten pretty much all of the imaging time that I wanted to on this particular target, what I decided to do is slew to another target to see if I could actually get a little imaging time on something else to kind of maximize the evening. Probably around this is probably maybe about 3:30 or so. I slewed over to the Rosette Nebula. Now, the Rosette Nebula is a target that I've never actually imaged before, so I was looking forward to this. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have the scope out that I would have used for this particular type of target. This is a pretty large target, and I was using the Celestron 8, and that would have given me entirely too much magnification for this particular target. But anyway, I decided to slew over to that target and and to get some imaging time on that. And basically, this was just going to serve as a test image, so I could see exactly what I might be able to achieve when I decided to come back out and do some full-scale imaging on this target. So I slewed over to the Rosette, and I was only able to get about 42 minutes of imaging time before the target dropped down below the trees. But anyway, I shot 14 3-minute subs, and basically I had been sitting on them for several months. Well, recently I was on the computer and I was looking through some of the files, and I came across the Rosette Nebula. I said, well, let me go ahead and do some processing on it, just to get an idea of what I might be able to get later. Well, to my surprise, I was amazed at the results that I was able to get off only 42 minutes of imaging time on this particular target. The image is pretty sharp, it's pretty clear, and there was very little noise in the image at all. Now, during the processing, I did add some noise reduction in PixInsight when I did the initial processing. Oh, and by the way, I did shoot this with a one-shot color camera. I believe I used the ZWO 533. And after doing the processing on it, I did add some additional noise reduction to the image in the Topaz AI, and it has a noise reduction algorithm in that particular program. So I used that to enhance it just a little bit more, plus enhance the detail. And I was rather pleased with the results that I got. I really didn't expect to get that kind of detail, that kind of definition as well as color out of this particular image at all because of the limited amount of data. But as I said, everything turned out relatively well, and I was rather impressed with what I got. Well, I'd like to show you that image now, and please tell me what you think about it. Well, as you can see, that image turned out relatively well for only 42 minutes of 42 minutes of imaging time. So, what's the moral to this story? Well, I think the moral to this story is you don't necessarily always need a lot of imaging time, depending upon the target, to get a very usable image out of it. Now, the Rosette Nebula is a pretty bright target. I believe it's a magnitude 6 or 7, something like that. So it's relatively bright. And as I've mentioned before, I am in like a Bortle 7, Bortle 8 area here. So I really didn't expect to get that much out of it, but as you can see, it did turn out relatively well. Well, that's about all I have for this particular video. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to comment, like, and please subscribe. All right, until next time, and clear skies.